1% actually earn their money from working hard, then why do we refer to lower income households as the working class?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It is too early. Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And as always, it's exactly 8 a.m.
We are right on time, as everyone in the chat will agree. If you think that it is not exactly 8 a.m., you should probably have your clock checked.
Yeah. Call your congressman about it. Wink. Saige.
Yes, hi.
Hi. How are you?
You know, I told the story on the internet, but I stopped a physical fight at a drag club this week.
Yes.
By dangling from a giant man's fist in a packed crowd.
To be fair.
Yeah.
That's how I picture you most of the time. Just dangling from a giant man's fist in a crowd.
Okay, fair.
Just like at a show, I picture you just always kind of dangling from a giant person.
Right, yeah. But other than that, you know what? I'm pretty good. I'm changing my hair color today.
Listen. There's no better sign that somebody is doing well than changing their hair color.
I also reached out for a tattoo appointment, and I'm trying to decide on a piercing. Does that also speak to how well I'm doing?
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing great.
Yeah.
I do want to get my tattoo now.
Okay.
I do want to get my tattoo now that the world is open.
Have you spoken on the internet about what that is? Because I know what it is.
You know, I think I might have. I've always wanted to get Gaff's unicorn from Blade Runner, just right here. The origami unicorn at the end. Mm-hmm. That proves he's a replicant. Except not in Blade Runner 2049, where they decided fuck the original Blade Runner.
What's a canon?
But we don't have to get a Blade Runner 2049 tattoo.
No.
I want a Blade Runner tattoo. I want Gaff's unicorn right here. That's what I want.
Let's go get tattoos.
Let's go get tattoos. I don't know who should do. Here's the thing. I have a lot of respect for tattoo artists.
Okay.
My partner of many years was just sleeve, everything. So like, I have a lot of respect for them, and I hate the idea of going into it, being that person who goes to a tattoo artist for their first tattoo and literally is just like, this is exactly what I want. This is all I want. Do it exactly this way.
They won't mind.
No collaboration or anything, but I literally just want like a clean line art of Gaff's unicorn.
That's totally okay. I have a lot of friends who are tattoo artists, and that wouldn't be an issue at all. We're going to go get tattoos, everybody. That's it. Bye.
We're going right now.
We're going right now.
Put on that BRB screen. Because we're going.
We'll be back with tattoos. We do have actual news today. Honestly, a lot of it.
Honestly, a lot of news. Honestly, that's a lot of news.
A bunch of things happened this morning even.
Honestly?
But I think we should start with the biggest announcement from this morning.
The Blue Beetle.
Which was new photos from Obi-Wan.
Right, new photos from Obi-Wan.
I don't know about you, but I am just every day I wake up counting down the days to Obi-Wan Day.
And it's soon. It's May 25th.
It's soon, but it is not soon enough, and I am so excited.
We got Obi-Wan on May 25th. Drops one day before Star Wars Celebration this year.
Damn.
That's a listen, I don't know what a hype train is, and if anybody tells me, I'll have them shadow banned. Mm-hmm. Sounds like that might be a hype train, though.
It does feel a bit like a hype train. Leading up to Celebration, yeah.
But we do have new images of Obi-Wanning about.
We sure do.
There he is.
Okay,
he's hiding behind a wall.
So this was a
you
feature
see
in
me?
Entertainment Weekly. He looks great.
He looks great. He's 73 years old. Can you believe that?
No, he's not.
No, he's not, but you'd believe me if I said it.
No, I didn't.
You believed it. There he is. He's hiding behind a wall. Or he's trying to protect that wall.
Could be anything.
It could be anything.
Oh, my God.
Is that one of the sisters?
I don't...
Is she one of the sisters? She might be. She's dressed a bit like one of them.
I could see it with like the plates at the top and at the cape. Very interesting.
That would be dope.
This one continually doesn't work, so I go to the next photo. But ooh hoo hoo.
There he is in a cave. There's crazy old Ben.
Oh my god. Old Ben Kenobi.
Are you talking about crazy old Ben Kenobi?
Oh my
Shit,
god.
she's gotta be.
Right?
She's gotta be an Inquisitor.
She's very cool.
That's very cool. You kind of already have that cosplay. I've seen you in it.
This is great. I'm so excited. Again, every 3 photos. Thank you, Entertainment Weekly. Does not work.
Hey! It's Uncle Owen.
Maybe they'll kiss.
She's gonna kiss Uncle Owen?
Nah, they look mad at each other.
Man, look at that.
God, it's good to see him in the robes,
It's
right?
so good.
Like full out in the robes. It really does do something. And that is it. The next thing is all
shit,
of the
Masked
costumes for the
Singer.
Masked Singer.
Let's
season
keep
7,
rolling
from the
through.
good, bad to the cuddly.
Let's keep rolling through Masked Singer hype.
Oh, well, it's okay.
Yeah! Yeah, there's that Scottish Terrier.
Wow, that's awful. They did that?
I don't know, man. I like the... Listen, I'll never watch that show, but I do enjoy the ornate costumes they create. Because they don't have to have any sort of theme or idea or anything.
This is my sleep paralysis demon.
Why are the hooves like little pills?
I don't know. I couldn't answer a single question about this.
Obi-Wan...
Let's go back to the Obi-Wan article.
I just can't...
It has information about those photos.
Cannot believe it's finally happening.
Yeah, Force-sensitive Inquisitor Reva. Moses Ingram will provide a formidable foe as she seeks out the Jedi in hiding for the Empire.
I can't believe we're getting a live-action Inquisitor. That's nuts.
So fucking sick.
Dude, it's all coming together. It's all... Listen, everyone who is patiently watching all of the animated series saying, no, it's canon. No, it's Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
All of your hard work has paid off.
Good for you. This is for you.
This is for you. Everybody who was like, no, I know it sounds like it's for kids, and yes, I understand one of the Inquisitors uses her lightsaber like a helicopter, but like you should watch it. It's very good. Also, I'll tell you this: when Jedi Fallen Order was coming out, I kept asking if the Inquisitor was going to use their lightsaber as a helicopter, and no, but you remember she had the one that was like. It was like motorized.
Oh.
Seventh Sister had the one that was motorized, and she would like fly away from Ezra.
Yep.
And like, it was a very uncomfortable character because she would also mess with Ezra's head by like flirting with him, and he was like 14.
Yikes.
It was like a very weird character.
Yeah, rough.
But she would fly off on a helicopter, and I kept asking the developers. I was like, "She's gonna fly off on a helicopter lightsaber?" And they were like, come on, man, you gotta stop asking that. I was like, you gotta give me an answer. They're like, what do you think the answer is? I was like, I don't know. I would hope so. I think all the fans hope so as well.
This is what we all are waiting for. So yeah, I would think.
I think everybody's like, where's the helicopter lightsaber that supports a human's body weight?
Look, if we've established a canon that improbable and impossible of things in our world are possible, there's no reason you can't have a helisaber.
Come on. The baby is a force wizard.
Right.
Like the baby do a force wizard.
I think once you're existing in a world about force wizards and sometimes they're babies, I think there's no rules anymore.
Baby, there's no rules. It's just right.
It doesn't make sense in physics. Yeah, well, there's no bras in space.
Yeah, and also, they jump 15 feet and do 3 flips.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Give them a helicopter lightsaber. Anyway, every time I put it in the interview, they would cut it out.
That makes sense.
They'd never made it to a single interview.
Son of Orpheus in the live studio audience said helisaber or hella saber. So I said it like hella saber as a true Californian. And I like it like that. Hella
hey, baby, I like it like that. That's the Obi-Wan, and I'm very excited about the Obi-Wan.
I am so fucking excited for Obi-Wan. It cannot come soon enough, and currently May feels very far away. When they announced the date, I was like, that's so soon. And now, sitting here on March 9th, it feels too far.
It's too far. How am I going to wait? How am I going to keep waiting this long? Moving on to some gaming news.
and of things that you are going to be waiting a bit for. Speaking of how can I wait this long, let's talk about Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights finally has a release date. Now, there was a rumored Gotham Knights release date that was based on a retail store putting it out and saying April 4th. And so I feel like they were sort of forced into announcing this release date because they didn't want people thinking it was coming in April 4th.
Because it certainly is not coming April 4th, unfortunately. The release date that we got is October 25th, 2022. I'm just excited that it's not getting pushed out of this year, personally. I did have my concerns with that. Obviously, we saw the Suicide Squad game get pushed. October's a while away, and there's always plenty to look forward to in October.
We were worried about that this one may not even come out after the Warner sale. It was in a licensing and branding limbo, and it was entirely possible that it was just going to get shelved. Like, they thought that for a while. So seeing it come out at all is great. Also, for you Star Wars heads out there, the voice of Kazuto Xiono from Star Wars Resistance, the greatest pilot in the galaxy, Christopher Sean, is the voice of Nightwing.
That's great.
Yeah. It's going to be very good. I'm pretty excited about Gotham Knights.
Yeah, this is one of my most anticipated games.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar, Gotham Knights is Batman. The Batman is dead, as far as we know,
Yes.
after the last Arkham game. And this is Robin, Red Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl protecting the city together, and it's like multiplayer the whole way through is what it looks like. And I love the idea of multiplayer Arkham style game all the way through.
And also some of the villains that they have shown us in the trailers look incredible. If you're not a trailer person, I'm like, I don't want to give too much, but we've talked about it enough. That trailer came out months ago.
Yeah.
Guys, it's got
Court of
Owls.
It's got the Court of Owls.
It's got the Court of Owls. So this is definitely, I would say, top 5 most anticipated games for me right now, of just like announced games that I'm waiting on.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly, this and Suicide Squad are probably in my top 5.
Dude, I'm very excited for the Suicide Squad. It's really interesting how the DC movies are not doing it for me, but without the engine of the DC movies, we wouldn't be getting all this stuff.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that DC is doing except the movies is really working for me. So I guess I'm happy about the DC movies.
Yeah. That's perfectly fair. I'm too excited for this. October is fine. It's a ways away, but I'm glad to have a hard date for it.
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Hey, there's stuff going on in the world.
There is so much going on in the world.
And if you're like, can I do a little something?
Just a little something.
Just a tiny little something for the world. There are 2 bundles going on Itch right now.
Yes, there are.
That you need to know about. The first one is the bundle for Ukraine, which has raised over $1.6 million in less than 24 hours. It's a huge, huge deal. You get 1,000 games for a minimum $10 donation.
1,000 games. Don't show my screen.
Why would I?
Thank you.
Oh, there we go. 1,000 games for $10. All proceeds go to charity. Nothing goes to the developers. A really good itch bundle. Brandon Sheffield, Necrosofty, a developer who's been around and been in the industry for a while, writer and developer, put together this bundle. And I'm so excited for how successful it's been. And there's a lot of good stuff.
$2.6 million right now raised.
If you look at the first 2 games in this bundle,
Now you can show my screen.
just the first 2,
Skatebird and Backbone.
that's $10. Dude,
Cloud
that's more than $10 right there.
Yeah,
just for those.
Skatebird, I just saw on Twitter, is on sale on Steam, I think, for $15. Skatebird and Backbone. Thirsty Sword Lesbians is a fantastic RPG. There is so many great contributions to this. God.
All of this stuff is really good. I mean, Super Hot, if you don't have Super Hot yet. Dot Dungeon is very good. Sundered is great. There's a short hike. A short hike is one of my favorites. Tennis, Read Only Memories. Like, all of this stuff, hugely good. If you've been looking to try out any of these games that like people have been talking about these games for years, and if you've been like, oh, I got to try these out, they're all in there.
Mortician's Tale? That's one that's been on my list.
Yeah, we've got Minute and Minute Fun Kart Racers.
Oh, Arcade Spirits is on here. Arcade Spirits is a fucking delight.
So that's a huge one. Definitely get on that bundle. And then for $5, you can have the TTRPGs for Trans Rights in Texas bundle, which has raised almost $300,000. And this is all tabletop RPG stuff.
And I have already purchased both, and there is so much good stuff in both of them.
Damn the Man, Save the Music is a great one where it's Empire Records.
Yeah.
You're trying to save the record store that you work for.
Yeah.
Let Me Take a Selfie is really fun. The Stellar Beacon is really good. Paradigm Adventures is great. For the Dungeon is very cute. That's where you play minions.
Yeah.
And heroes attack your dungeon. There's a lot of really great stuff.
I am going to drop links in the chat and the Discord for both of those.
So definitely, Seedling. Seedling's amazing. There's so many good ones in there. And $5, man. So for $15, you can have yourself thousands and thousands of hours of very good game fun for very good causes.
Anthony, I went into our Discord.
Always a great decision. We love our Discord.
Now, I don't remember the context, but at some point we made jokes about John RT. Sorry, I know you got an automatic timeout for dropping that link, but thank you anyways. I went into our Discord, right? And a while ago, I guess we had made a joke, and I remember making the joke, but I don't remember the context of Pixel Circus name tags.
Oh, okay.
And it like,
yo, somebody ordered a Pixel Circus name tag?
is that real, King Sassafras?
King Sassafras, did you really get that? That's hilarious.
That's very cool.
That is absolutely hilarious. Drop the knowledge on how you got that done.
Yeah, right.
So others can do the same. That's really hilarious. Also, thank you to Death and Saints for the Gotham Knights release date drop in the Discord. I just saw that.
Yeah. Will you drop the TTRPG bundle in the Discord? Because I don't have that pulled up.
Yes.
I have just the games, the video games.
Yep.
One. Crane one.
So check those out. They're very good. Also, in game news today, State of Play at 2 p.m., baby.
Yeah, they love to schedule these after we do the show, so that it'll be old news on Friday. It's very fun. Yeah, we don't know exactly what we will see at State of Play today. I saw somebody speculating Sly Cooper.
You know, I wouldn't mind a Sly Cooper.
I would love a Sly Cooper.
Are people thinking a new Sly Cooper?
Yeah, I saw someone speculating a new Sly Cooper. Who the fuck knows? I don't see much to back that up. Thank you to the mods for dropping those links in chat. So appreciated. But they promised new reveals and eye-catching updates for PS5 and PS4 titles. It'll be about a 20-minute show. So
okay, it's a quickie. One game that seems likely, according to Polygon, is Final Fantasy 16. Mm-hmm. There's an idea that that's sort of we've been waiting on that for a long time, and I think Sony is putting the screws to Square on getting that game out, and Square really needs to get that game out because their last couple big releases have not done super great for them. The other one is probably. Well, a lot of people were thinking PSVR 2, but Sony has said no.
Yeah, they said it's not PSVR 2.
No,
and
baby.
It seems unlikely that they're saying anything about Forspoken right now due to that delay. So it's likely going to be that Final Fantasy.
Huh. I wonder, it says it's going to focus on great games coming from our beloved Japanese publishers. Mm-hmm. Probably Sony Studios Japan. Oh, no, wait. They murdered that. They bashed that to death with a rock.
Yes, they did.
Well then. Who else are we waiting on stuff from? Not a Capcom. Certainly not a Konami. They have to get their house in order.
They're too busy trying to swoop up those domains.
Yeah, they're trying to get Castlevania.com back from some teenager in Iowa.
Game.
They can't make a game right now. Interesting. Oh, that's a great point by Jesse PB in the live studio audience. We could see that Armored Core
Yeah,
People are really about From Software right now, and we know that Armored Core remake is coming.
that's true.
I'd love to see some Armored Core.
I feel like FromSoft is just kind of busy right now.
With what?
I feel like they had something going on.
But that's the thing. Now's the time. Everybody's
strike
talking.
while it's hot.
Everybody's talking about From Software. Everybody's really big into From Software. And now we go, yo, check this out. Check out what else we're doing. Do you like taking a giant sword and stabbing tree men in the crotch?
Because, boy, we got the game for you.
Because if you do, you're gonna love doing the same thing to a robot's crotch. Think about it.
While we're on the topic, still of Final Fantasy, I do want to talk about this. I love the modding community, Anthony.
We all do.
We love the modding community in this house. And someone within the modding community made an incredible, and I want to find the original photo of it without the update. Okay, just an incredible leather jacket cloud. Ugh. Beautiful. Oh my God.
I will say this about the leather jacket cloud. That is an amazing leather jacket cloud. We love it.
Uh-huh.
It's perfect. I do want to say, Saige.
Well, I don't want to show them the other thing yet.
I'm not showing them the other thing. I do want to say, Saige. Mm-hmm. The boy's torso is a little long.
Disagree. Love a long boy.
I mean, he's the long cat of boys.
Love a long boy.
I just want to say.
I've met that boy.
Have you?
Yeah, I've met that boy.
Oh, okay. Was he wearing that jacket?
Yes. I have dated a man with that long of a torso that wore a great crop top. But unfortunately, the community playing the game was like, man, I really love him in a leather jacket, but like, ew, too much, too reveal. Men don't wear crop top. Why give him crop top?
Hey, listen to me. I've been saying this. We need to do this together.
Uh-huh.
It's time, just like the bad guy in an 80s movie whose dad owns the ski resort. We need crop tops on men again. Crop tops need to become gender neutral for everyone. Everybody who says why men? Men don't wear crop top. It's time.
Yeah, Anthony, it's here.
It needs to be here for everyone. There would be no pushback if everybody understood.
I know.
Everybody needs to understand.
So, yeah, exactly. Son of Orpheus said, in a game that has Tifa Lockhart in it, the fans were like too revealing. So the fans were like, men don't wear crop top.
No, only lady skin.
So the response from the modder was to make an update to it and say, okay, there you go.
Hell yeah.
Now he has
a slightly Kingdom Hearts looking, what is it when it's on the front?
I don't know. I was also trying
It's not a tramp
we both
stamp.
went silent trying to figure out what that was.
It's a reverse tramp stamp. It's a 180 tramp stamp.
A reverse
fakey 180 tramp stamp.
We went two very different directions.
Yes, we did.
To tramp stamp. A trunk stamp? I guess that's the back, right? A trail stamp?
A trail rail.
Okay, but a trail stamp could work.
Yeah. I like trail rail.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoy this. Thank you to the modding community.
Love this. Thank you to the modding community for hearing this complaint and going, oh, hold on, guys. Don't worry. I've got the update for you. Don't worry. I'll get right on that.
Don't worry. I fixed it.
And then just adding a little tattoo in the front.
In other very good video game news.
They have so many good names for it.
Naval engravel. I love it.
Okay, I'm good.
Lost Ark.
Do you know anyone actually playing it?
I don't know anyone playing
I don't know
it.
a single person actually playing it. I'm sure some of the BBs are playing it.
We
gotta have some Pixel pals that have been playing, right?
I don't know anybody that's playing it, but now apparently Lost Ark has over 20 million players globally. That's pretty wild.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
We've got some BBs that are playing.
I play it every day. I played it at launch, but fell off. Okay. All right. Now, Lost Ark, it was a big deal in Korea. Mm-hmm. Also launched in Russia and Japan shortly afterwards and did all right there. But apparently the Western release has doubled its numbers. So there were 10 million players before Amazon came in and published it in the West. And now there are 20 million, with half of them coming from North America, Europe, South America, and Australia. The day after Lost Ark appeared on Steam, it peaked at 1.3 million concurrent players, knocking Counter-Strike Go off its position. Took the record for Steam's highest all-time peak concurrence.
That's huge.
Second highest all-time peak. PUBG still number one.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, those are massive numbers. I would think I would know more people that were currently playing it in like our gaming community. I'm surprised that I don't.
Well, there is.
I knew so many people that were jumping on New World. You know? I knew so many people that were jumping into like these new big releases.
Well, there's a reason you might not have heard about it, Saige. And that is because Amazon had to ban over 1 million bot accounts earlier this month, with more coming because apparently if you play Lost Ark, it is very easy. Like, you see bots everywhere.
Which is very interesting.
Apparently people are teleporting around. People are taking shortcuts through walls. They're all wearing the same outfits. They're following the exact same paths between quest givers, which means it's an optimized algorithm.
Yeah.
There are apparently a few milli robies.
All wearing the same outfits. But that's hard to identify because everyone in the game is wearing the same outfits. Something that was deeply unfortunate about Lost Ark from launch was that Lost Ark had extremely limited and gender-locked armor.
Oh,
and
right.
Classes.
That's where I've heard. That's the most I've heard about Lost Ark.
Where it was like, you want to be a spellcaster, you're a lady. You want to be strong, you're a man.
Yeah, sure.
And that was it. I feel like we've made a lot of progress in games of not like restricting to want man or want lady. But they've done 3 steps backwards in that. And also the character design. So like, let's just take a look at this.
I think the reason why Lost Ark didn't appeal to me is because on top of like everything else, that's just like some clip art of a fantasy game. That's like if they walked in Law and Order SVU and they were like, we think the video game made him do it, and then they looked at the video game he was playing, it would look like Lost Ark.
Yeah. And unsurprisingly, unfortunately, man fully covered in functional armor. Lady has to show her stomach and legs and arms.
And also, why cat always gotta be in a bow?
Good point.
Why cat always gotta be in a bow, Saige?
Yeah, that's the takeaway.
That's the takeaway. But no, apparently New World has taken some action to fix these class issues.
So they said that they are currently getting more multi-gender class options and some less revealing armor for the lady characters. However, they did specify that they are keeping the revealing armor. Like, it's not going anywhere.
Now,
don't worry.
Is that new armor? It only show one leg? Or is that old armor?
That's old armor.
Old armor, well, now, there you go. It's progressive. It cover one leg.
Uh-huh.
That's not really armor, though. It looks like she's wearing leather pants.
No, that's not armor at all.
It's got the leather pant wrinkles.
Women are both immune to gravity and swords. That's what we've learned.
Listen, one time, I tried to take a swipe at Saige with a rapier, and she floated 50 feet into the air.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Took me 3 days to find her. She just went, bye. I was like, Saige?
Like a balloon.
Bye. She's like, oh no, I forgot to tie the rope to my foot. Anthony!
Because you see, what he actually did was when he swung the sword, he could not hit me, for I am immune, but he did cut the little rope that I keep wrapped around my ankle and tied to a center of gravity.
Anthony, help! There are no donuts up here!
Yeah.
Anthony!
I'm still recovering.
It took me
many donuts.
It took me 3 days to find her. You may remember a couple weeks ago when we took a Friday off. That was why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was why.
That was it. I was floating.
She was floating away. I was like, Saige!
So classes are tied closely to the character models in terms of function and animation. So bringing opposite gender characters to a class takes more work than just making a differently gendered model available.
I got an idea. Make those big, strong men cast magics with those hot lady animations. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Why are those animations so gendered, I wonder?
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have gendered your animations so hard.
Or maybe there shouldn't be such thing as a gendered animation, really?
Right.
For casting a spell? If you're like, well, we can't have a man cast a spell the way a woman casts a spell, that would be embarrassing. Give it a little thought. Give it a little thought. Man can't move the way woman move. That would be embarrassing. Think about it.
So the Berserker is one of the like tanky classes that you're only able to play as a mask model for. They said, however, Smilegate RPG is actively working on this. The female Berserker is the next class coming to Korea. While not every class in the game currently has a male and female counterpart available, we made an effort to include those that do in our launch class lineup. In the future, we'll be creating more counterparts for classes that are still gender locked, and we will bring these to Arkesia in time.
548-865 in the live studio audience says, and give all the men crop tops, you cowards.
Yes.
Give them crop tops and trail rails.
Yes.
We love that. Speaking of character art, I have just decided, Saige, I don't think I play Destiny 2 anymore.
I know.
I can't. There's no way I can say that I play Destiny 2.
You had your time.
It's been forever, and every time they release an expansion, there are 18 other games that I've got to play. I only know four people that play Destiny regularly, and it is the significant others of the failed save cast, and they play while we're doing failed save.
That's true.
So I can't play with them.
Oh, I was going to say, what do you mean? I have a Destiny group for you. And then...
We're thinking of the same group, Saige.
Yeah, no, I know.
And they play when we're busy. They play when we're busy.
That's very true.
So it's ridiculous. But I do still look a little bit longingly at Destiny and think, hey, I'd love to jump back into Destiny.
Right.
I'd love to jump back into Destiny. Let's figure this out. How do I get back in there? And I'm not going to, but I can look at the art that they just released for the latest expansion.
And the new art, this is the concept art from the Witch Queen, and oh my God.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that. I will say this. Destiny from the jump has had some of the, I mean, these are monsters and they're very good, but the thing that I love about Destiny is the world design and textile design has been unbelievable from the jump. Like, look at this. Look at these cool wings.
So cool.
So cool. One of my favorite things. It's so funny. Like way back in the day when Destiny 2 launched, I was on Game Trailers. I was on Jeff Keighley's show, and it was me and Jeff Keighley, and I forget who else. I forget who, but we were talking about Destiny 2, and they were bringing up all this industry stuff. They were being very like Keighley show about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, you can get an Hermes scarf for a man with a machine gun. It's all about good scarves. And they just looked at me like I was an insane person. But that's really what it's about. It's about bubblegum armor and Hermes scarves for your alien shotgun hunter.
That's great.
It's one of my favorite things about it.
You make the best pitch for Destiny anyone's ever made to me.
That's what I'm saying. Look at this good art.
Wow.
Ooh,
Absolutely
that's
beautiful.
Look at that spooky. You don't want to fight that, but you gotta.
I do want to fight that. I really want to fight that.
The spookier it is, the more I want to fight it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. If Destiny, like if a little bit of Destiny fashion could just leak out into the real world, that'd be great.
Right? I don't know how in the year 2022, after we've all spent 2 years inside playing video games, that we haven't come out looking like video game characters more.
Look, you know I embrace the techwear of it all.
Yes.
But you can only go so far. You can only go as far as they allow. There are only so many products out there.
Yeah, they're only making so much.
But I do my best.
You do.
I do my best, but we should all be there. Baby, if the last 2 years weren't post-apocalyptic enough for you to wear post-apocalyptic techwear,
Yeah.
what will be?
Blade of Creation did ask an important question and said, what if you could date the spooky instead of fighting the spooky? Always yes.
I mean, look, we always take the romanceable option over the fight option, but there's no reason we can't wear armor and do romance.
You're so right.
Actually, I prefer to do romance with people who wear armor.
Yeah.
You know? And that's not just in games.
No, always true.
In some huge gaming industry news, Snoop Dogg, Snoop Lion,
No
Snoop
longer.
Diggity Dog, the man, the myth, the legend, has joined the board of directors of Faze Clan. We're a business show.
Yep. So we can, of course, speak to the business of this all.
We're a business show, but buddy, Snoop Dogg is a businessman. And he gets it. And now he is on the board of directors of Faze Clan and will be producing content under the brand's umbrella. He's changed his name to Faze Snoop.
Okay. Okay. Well, hold on. Now look.
Hey, Snoop, can you get those fucking kids under control?
Because please, we beg of you.
Can you get the members of Faze Clan under control? Can you make sure, Snoop, as murder was the case that they gave you. We all know this. And you've done your time. You've paid your dues. You're a better man now for it. Can you teach these fuckers from Faze Clan to behave, please?
Now, I know a member of Faze Clan.
I've met a couple members of Faze Clan.
And I feel like I have so many questions I must ask him.
So what is Faze Clan, people are asking? Faze Clan is a large umbrella that's sort of gaming influencers, content creators, pro gamers that are all together under one roof. And it's sort of it's marketing, it's promotion, it's almost like an agency, but it calls itself like a gaming clan.
If you remember in early YouTube when MCNs popped up, this is an evolution, in my opinion, of MCNs. It's also an evolution of like gaming orgs. You've seen, I'm sure, a lot of streamers that you follow are probably part of orgs. I think it is the center point between those two things of an esports org and like an MCN,
like an
management
MCN
house.
but also with some management and like
but like
agents.
A lot of MCN had that like agent management thing to it.
I mean, they
weren't good at it, but they had.
They
it.
definitely said they did.
Right.
I think they do actually do a lot of like branding and management deals for their members, whereas MCNs would always tell people that they were going to do that,
Yes.
and then push a button and disappear.
Yeah.
But so that means Snoop is going to be he's going to be creating business initiatives for them. He's starting a community outreach program for young people. He's going to be creating entertainment opportunities for Faze Clan using his connections, he says.
Look, none of this really surprises me because Snoop Dogg will do anything, and we've talked about that on this show before. Snoop Dogg did a song with Big Time Rush. Mm-hmm. Who, of course, we're going to the concert.
Of course.
We're going to see on their comeback.
We're going to see them with Dixie D'Amelio, as we all are.
No, but seriously, like Snoop Dogg really will do anything. The amount of like radio spots for like various like drugstore products that Snoop Dogg has done ads for, Snoop Dogg will say yes to doing anything.
If you remember, was it last year? Did we report on this a few months ago, or was it last year? It doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter anymore. But you remember when Snoop accidentally left himself streaming on Twitch for like a day and a half, and came back and started just like cursing about it?
Yeah.
Because he walked away from the stream because people were dunking on him.
Yeah.
And then accidentally left the stream on for a day. Now we know why.
Right.
He was doing his due diligence and figuring this out before he said yes to it.
Before he joined the Faze Clan. So, as with any collective of young men, there's disasters in there.
So many disasters. Listen, if you've heard stories about these houses of internet youths that are ruining neighborhoods and throwing parties, some of those are Faze Clan.
Yeah.
People who get thrown out of gaming events for starting fights, a lot of those are Faze Clan. I've been at gaming events where Faze Clan gets themselves kicked out.
That makes sense. Yeah, it is. That's the other thing that I would say folds into it, in addition to the like MCN and esports org portion of it. If you've seen like the content houses, like you've seen your like Team 10s and stuff like that, this is also, I would say, an iteration of that. into one. And I mean, like, they're fucking massive. But wow.
He said the chief strategy officer of Faze Clan said the organic relationship between Faze and Snoop has been building for years now, so we're thrilled to officially welcome Faze Snoop to the family. As the original internet kid and first generation gamer, Snoop has always understood the cultural connection between music, lifestyle, and gaming.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Snoop Dogg probably gets it. Now, here's what's interesting.
Is he like? Does he like video games, or does he get high sometimes in the studio and play Mario Kart?
Look, I'm not going to gatekeep Snoop Dogg.
I'm not gatekeeping Snoop Dogg. I'm just saying.
Anthony, we can't gatekeep Snoop Dogg.
I'm just saying. Is he very into video games? Because I don't know. Like, I know he'll put his
these are the kind of questions people ask me.
I know he'll put his face on a video game for a check. But, like, I don't know.
That's gatekeeping Snoop Dogg. We can't gatekeep Snoop Dogg.
I'm sorry, Snoop Dogg.
Apologize to Snoop Dogg.
Hey, Faze Snoop. My bad.
Now take it back because he's supporting NFTs.
GG.
Now, not only on his Twitter account can you see that he has changed his name to Faze Snoop, which is like, man, people are really willing to do a lot for this Faze clan. That they really just like put it in their name and use it all the time. Fucking wild.
Dude, if they gave me a check that the size I bet they gave Snoop, I'd change my Twitter name to Faze Anthony for like a couple days.
I would not.
I don't know how big the check was. I bet it was pretty big.
So, unfortunately, if you scroll through his Twitter right now, it is literally all NFTs. And again, when I saw the NFTs thing from Snoop Dogg, I was like, yeah, Snoop Dogg will do anything. I don't think he cares. I don't think that he reads it. I don't think that he has any interest in the details of it. He takes the check. He tells someone it's okay to post the tweet.
He takes the check. He posted the tweet.
So his entire thing right now is NFTs. And it's not just Snoop Dogg NFTs. It's Death Row Records NFTs. They're really doing that to Death Row Records.
Look, Death Row Records has more been like a lifestyle brand than anything else for the last few years. Like Death Row Records is you know, shirts and merch and stuff. I get it. It's become that sort of a brand. But at the same time, like, that's fucking wild to me. That's fucking wild to me that they're putting out like little 3D pixel Death Row Records art. That's a little strange.
This is not what Snoop Dogg died, or this is not what Tupac died for. This is not it.
Tupac didn't die.
Hot take.
Tupac didn't die.
Very hot take.
Look,
spicy hot take.
Look, you know it. I know it. Everybody know it.
I think he does own Death Row now. I want to say that I would think that Dre still has a pretty big stake in it because Dre previously was like the owner and operator of Death Row, but I don't know.
Well, Dre sold it to Interscope.
Right.
And then I think Snoop bought it back from Interscope.
Interesting.
He bought the brand back because Dre...
So he could do NFTs.
Yeah, so he could do NFTs. I'm not entirely sure. I am not... Listen, we are a business show, but this is music business and we're a gaming business show.
You're so right.
But we do also enjoy a little bit of the technology, Saige. We like
so
a gadget.
True.
And not just the things, but also the anthropomorphic animated mouse.
Gadget.
We love a gadget.
We do love a gadget. Can confirm.
And yesterday was the big Apple event. Mm-hmm. We were talking about this on Monday because you would like an obscenely large iPad.
I would. We did our speculations for what we thought might be announced on this Apple Peak Performance keynote.
Peak spelled P-E-E-K. A little peek at the performance.
Nice. I see what you did there. I do. I'm in the market for a new iPad. And we were making predictions as to what they would announce. And one of them was putting an M1 in a new iPad.
M1 in the iPad Air is something that we said. Mm-hmm. And that definitely happened. That was, you know, I'll listen. Mm-hmm. We are business and industry prophets. We do predict things. We are at one with the universe when it comes to that. We're prescient, really.
We're like the psychic twins.
We're kind of like the psychic twins. But I will say, predicting the M1 iPad Air was a little bit of low-hanging fruit. I think we all knew that was kind of coming. something that we were 50-50 on was a new iPhone SE.
Yeah, which they did announce.
Which is wild to me because the iPhone SE has not been selling super great. I think the one that we're never going to see again is a Mini.
Yeah.
The Mini has been selling abysmally.
Yeah.
And as somebody who you would think would buy a Mini, because I want the smallest technology.
Yeah. I was shocked you didn't.
It's because they don't put the good camera on it.
Right. Because he got a new phone somewhat recently. You've got a current generation phone that you left in your car.
I got the 13. I left it in my car. But it's got the good cameras. And my phone is also my camera.
Right.
That is actually...
Except for when your camera is your camera.
Except for when my camera is my camera. But my phone is definitely the camera, you know?
Yeah.
It's replaced a lot of like I used to carry around like a lot of point and shoots. I don't have to anymore.
Right.
Anyway, the iPhone SE is coming. I don't think a Mini is coming. The iPhone SE is basically... it's basically the same chip as the iPhone 13.
Yep. They offered 5G support, which it did not previously have. They promised a better battery life because that was one of the larger complaints of the SE. It still has a home button.
Yeah, one of the great things about the iPhone SE, I think, is Touch ID.
I think I would like to get to a point where we get back to Touch ID. I don't know if we need a button for it. I've gotten used to not having the button anymore, and I'm okay with that. I missed it immediately.
Dude, Touch ID opens up your phone so much faster than Face ID.
Yeah, I almost never use Face ID. I end up typing in my passcode every single time, essentially, especially because a lot of the time I'm going out in the world and I'm wearing a mask.
And the only way it'll open it with your mask is if you're also wearing an Apple Watch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you have a watch and a mask, it'll be like, okay, it's you. I can see your eyes and you're wearing your watch.
Interesting. Okay.
But that's like it's $300 to unlock your phone. It's trash. Bring back Touch ID. The iPhone SE is going to start at $429. That's the other great thing about the iPhone SE.
A much more attainable price point.
And I will say this about the cameras. As more and more of the machine learning and the AI becomes what the camera is about, the gap between the cameras is not as bad.
True.
Though you don't get the multi-lens stuff where you can zoom in 3 times.
Right.
This was the big iPad Air.
So this is the iPad Air with the M1 chip in it.
I honestly, right now, I don't see the reason to buy a Pro unless you really need that 120 hertz screen or you want one that's as big as your torso.
Big.
It needs to weigh her down so she doesn't float away again.
I need it to be big.
But if you want an iPad that has an M1 chip, that has Thunderbolt, that has USB-C, it's got all the good shit. It's got all the good shit.
Which is great. And they're starting at $599, whereas we were just talking about how the Pros are, hitting $1,000 starting, which is tough. And I mean, this thing is going to be more powerful than the Pro is right now based on that M1.
Uses the they'll be about the same because they both have the M1.
Does the current Pro have
current
M1?
Current Pro was one of the first things to get an M1. So it's got an M1. What the Pro has is it has a slightly higher resolution. It has the 120 hertz screen. But
for almost twice the money.
Actually,
twice the money.
It has better speakers, but this one will work with the Apple Pencil. They also added center stage to the Air, which is that ultra wide, the ultra wide camera.
Yeah.
And when you move around, it does the AI reframing. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And look, this is all very good, but they announced something that we did not expect, and that is the Mac Studio with the new M1 Ultra.
Yeah, so they announced the M1 Ultra at this in itself.
Which we expected maybe they would say an M2, but now it goes M1, M1 Max, M1 Ultra.
Which is very interesting. We very much thought there would be an M2 in this.
Dude, and the M1 Ultra is essentially 2 M1 Maxes. Like, they showed it. It's like basically 2 M1 Maxes glued together. It's wild. It's wild. The performance on these things, here's the thing. Even if you're not an Apple person, which is totally fine. We don't simp for brands here.
No.
But their system on a chip work over the last 2 years,
holy shit,
is wild.
Yeah.
Just wild. The stuff that you can do with these M1s is gnarly. I mean, I'm watching people on an M1 iPad that like they're editing like 5-6 tracks of 4K video.
Right.
This M1 Ultra, they showed editing a billion D tracks of 8K ProRes 444 video. It's chewing through stuff. It's chewing through 3D modeling. It's chewing through the unified memory system on a chip stuff that they're doing. The bandwidth of data that this thing can push is fucking wild. Now, the Mac Studio is the first like pro-ish PC that they've made.
Yeah.
With the M1. Here's the problem, Saige.
Tell me the problem.
Now, you look at this.
Yes.
It's a very tall Mac Mini.
Yep.
What does that mean to you?
Which part of it? The tall part or the fact that it looks like a Mac Mini?
All of it. What does it mean? Because to me, that says, oh, whatever I buy it with,
oh, that's not going to be customizable at all.
you can't even add RAM to this thing.
Here's the thing, though. That is something that I'm not surprised by with Apple. As someone who has owned iMacs, as someone who has Apple laptops, like this, we have not moved towards, self-upgrading Apple equipment. We haven't been able to self-upgrade Apple equipment in 15 years.
I know.
I mean, honestly, like the one-piece aluminum unibody that they started making back in like 2010 probably. Like that was the death of home upgrades for Apple products.
The first one you remember it was the unibody, but it had the little hatch that you could unscrew and you could put a little more RAM in it if you wanted to. Now, of course, with the unified memory on these M1s, you can't upgrade RAM anyway. But with a Mac Mini, you used to at least be able to open it up and put like more internal storage into it. You could do something with it. Now, we're not surprised, but it is a bit of a bummer. They are obviously stringing people along. The Mac Pro, the M1 Mac Pro, is going to come out at some point this year.
Yes.
By the end of the year, we're going to see an M1 Mac Pro with this M1 Ultra. Yeah. That will be upgradable.
Yeah.
But that will be crazy expensive. So right now they're like, do you want a really good Pro Mac? Because we have one. Maybe you just buy this one now, and then in 8 months you buy a tower too. The same way they were like, well, maybe we'll start with our base MacBooks with the M1, and then if you like it, So the Mac Studio, it is pretty amazing. You can get it with an M1 Max. An M1 Max chip, which is the faster M1. It's not the fastest, but you can get it with the M1 Max chip for $1999.
$2,000.
Which honestly, not bad for a pro level desktop system that's going to last you for a few years. If you're doing the work with it, it's not horrible.
Where it gets spicy, and I don't think is the correct evaluation, is it shooting up to $4,000 if you want it with the M1 Ultra. Now, I understand the processing power of the M1 Ultra is very valuable, but the discrepancy between those two prices is just unreasonable to me. I don't see the point in doing it.
No, you're paying the early adopter tax for the fastest chip.
Exactly.
And listen, they showed some of those very scientific Apple graphs that they show, where they just draw two lines and they're like, this line better.
Do you want okay line or do you want good line?
This line's 60% better than other line, but they won't tell you what the lines compare or anything. You're paying the early adopter tax, but here's something that's very nice, y'all. They brought back the ports.
Yeah, they did.
Now, for somebody like me, who does his own projects at home, tinkers around.
Yeah.
I don't need the Mac Tower that they're going to be releasing later this year.
Sure.
And I also probably don't need an M1 Ultra, but an M1 Max with actual expansion ports, that's pretty nice. And for $2,000, if I was looking to build a PC, I'd be building it for more than $2,000 if I was starting from scratch.
Absolutely. I mean, getting your hands on a graphics card, good luck anyways.
Yeah.
Even at retail price for a graphics card, you're definitely going to end up putting more than $2,000 into that.
Now, what is it not great for? It's not great for gaming, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not great for streaming. OBS and stuff on the Mac has never been
They've made
as
really
great
good progress.
They have. But if you want to count on plugins or anything,
Yeah, so here's what I'll say is back in the days of Streamlabs, it was no problem.
right?
Before we stopped using Streamlabs, Streamlabs runs great on Mac.
And they also, well,
Going
and here's
plugins.
they also put a certain number of plugins built into Streamlabs.
Exactly.
They don't. One of the problems with Streamlabs is, as far as I know, they don't release that code back to the community.
Correct. Even though it was open source and it was all of those
Yeah,
things.
it's one of the problems we had with Streamlabs.
Many.
But if you're not streaming, if you're not gaming,
Or you have a gaming.
PC, this is a really good content creation machine. You get four Thunderbolt ports on the back. You get the 10 gigabit Ethernet. You get 2 USB-A on the back. You get full HDMI. You get a headphone jack, and then on the front, you get 2 USB-C and an SD card slot.
I mean, damn, right?
That's a really, really good content creation machine.
Yeah.
Like, that's especially good.
Yeah. Bringing back an SD card slot is a big deal. I haven't seen an SD card slot in a hot minute.
Oh my God. The fact that I had to buy a USB SD card reader for my tower.
Same.
I'm just like, I hate this.
I also hate this.
I hate this. My laptop, one of the reasons that I didn't get rid of this laptop for so long and I'm still rocking this laptop is it's got the SD card slot in it.
Yeah.
Although now the new MacBooks have that too.
This one does not.
That one does not, because you got one of the first M1s.
I did. I paid the early adopter fee.
Yeah, but it's a good laptop.
It's a great laptop.
You've been super happy with it.
I love it very, very much.
You
I
can
have
do
no complaints.
anything that you do on here for like Pixel Circus stuff, you can pretty much do on your laptop, which is great.
I move back and forth. I have my Adobe suite on both. And as somebody who runs Premiere, runs Photoshop, runs After Effects occasionally, I don't have any slowdown when switching to my laptop. Sometimes I even prefer, honestly, to run like Premiere on my laptop.
Oh my gosh, especially when you're rendering out video, that thing chews through video.
It does. In the next announcement, we got their studio display to go along with that.
So this is a step down from their XDR big boy crazy display. That what was it? It's like a $5,000 display, $10,000 display. I forget.
Woof.
But this is a step down from that, but it's still a very good display. This is basically going to replace. Basically, now if you buy a Mac for content creation, everybody says the Pro Move, the Pro Strat, is to buy like a BenQ or Dell monitor. Because you get that Ultra 5K monitor that's really nice and has really nice color, and you pay like a fraction of what you pay for Apple.
Right. It's still so weird for me to see these like hard edges on an Apple product.
Yeah, when they moved to it last year with the iMacs, it was like
So strange.
Oh, okay.
It's nice.
It's good. It's very streamlined. So here's the deal. This is a 27-inch 5K display. The crazy thing, the absolute bonkers boy thing about this, they put a full iPhone camera system into it.
Which is so interesting. Like, that is really fascinating because of how much is like done from home now, whether it's like Zoom calls and simple shit like that, or people doing things like streaming. I can't help but wonder if they are kind of building out these tools for people to do more and more.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And especially when you connect this to the Mac Studio, your tall Mac Mini, I think what they're thinking of, you know, on my iPhone, which of course I keep in the car, on my iPhone, I've got like the cinematic mode, you have like the portrait mode, you have all the machine learning, and people have been dunking on Apple's webcams forever.
Yeah, because they haven't made any progress.
Because they're trash.
Right.
But this is a full iPhone 13 camera with the processing chip and everything in a monitor.
Yeah, if I look in the like photo booth app from my laptop, it looks like the photo booth photos that I took in 2010 in the Mac store.
It's awful. It's awful. But this is like, you could sit in front of that camera and record a talking head video, no problem.
Absolutely.
You could sit in front of that cam, like if you're a YouTube creator or something, you might even be able to use that to stream in a really good way. And like, if you think about it, I connect my camera sometimes to NVIDIA broadcast to like blur out my background with the AI, it builds that in. It's got the LiDAR in it.
It does.
So it's really nice. It's a $15.99 display. Now, it does have a fancy Apple stand.
Yes.
Now, the fancy Apple stand is like another $2,000.
Yeah.
As per usual, but that you can buy a VESA adapter for it, so you can put any monitor stand on it or wall mount it, whatever. But I love that they were just like,
I mean, if you want to give us an extra,
if you want to give us another $1,500, it's so fucking wild.
Is it 15 for the stand? No.
Yeah, it's like 15 for the stand too.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's just like, you remember how much that monitor stand was for their XDR display? It's like $1,000 monitor stand.
Now that's where I'm upset.
The stand is not included. Go to Platypus. It is not included.
It comes with a stand.
It comes
You're
with
not getting a loose monitor.
No, it comes with a basic stand, but they want you to buy the really good stand. I'll show you the basic stand and the really good stand.
Yeah, I was just showing it on screen a minute ago.
No? Okay. Basic stand here. Nice, good studio stand here. And then, of course, you can just get a VESA mount and bring your own stand if you want.
Yep.
I would just clamp it onto a monitor arm.
The little things that were announced is the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro will now come in green.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. A new version of iMovie for the iPad OS is coming out next month, and then they're doing some sports stuff on Apple TV. I'm very happy for sports people.
Just some sports stuff. Now, I do want to see what this new version of iMovie for iPad OS is going to be like.
Because honestly, it's great right now.
It's great right now, but people are like, I've got an M1 chip. Put Final Cut Pro onto the fucking iPad.
I think that has to happen within the next year.
It's gotta.
I think when the next iPad Pro comes out, it ships with Final Cut.
Yeah, whether they call it Final Cut Mobile or something.
Yeah.
Or whether it's
Final
the full
Cut Express, something like Photoshop has and Premiere has Rush.
They have to do something. You're just right now, that M1 chip, it's just like, what am I doing with this?
Right.
You can use LumaFusion, which is great, but it's not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We were talking about that. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's a note-taking machine for me.
I draw pictures on it. I draw notes in the margins of things.
In continued business news, we are, of course, qualified in business, but I'm going to not call us qualified quite in this matter, because this does speak to the continued invasion of Ukraine by Russia and some of the continued sanctions that are being affected in it in the more like tech space. Netflix has suspended service in Russia currently,
adding their name to the names of tons of people who have been doing the same. Mm-hmm. We talked about this. They're the only thing you can do when somebody is not listening to politics and to the pleas of the rest of the world, you have to show them somehow that they're doing something wrong. And we don't want to do that with a shoot, shoot, bang, bang.
Please don't.
Please don't do it with a shoot, shoot, bang, bang. So what we're doing is we're saying, hey, we don't like the way you're doing things, so we're pulling out of your country right now until you do better. And it works.
It does. I say this every time. I'm very sad for the people of Russia that do not support Putin's war, that are just having their quality of life rapidly diminished.
Just having everything taken away from them. But I think they're good moves, and it's a bummer that we have to do them. But here's one that I'm not entirely convinced on. Mm-hmm. So Twitch has stopped all payments to streamers with a Russian bank account.
Now, okay, I do get this. This is still, it's money going into Russia, and people are just putting a hard line on, we're not paying out to anything in Russia.
No, I get that. What I want to know is what happens if I am somebody who streams in Russia, mm-hmm. a small streamer, makes a little bit of money. Mm-hmm. If I have a balance with Twitch, mm-hmm. and I'm counting on that balance because it's a part-time job for me.
Right.
Is Twitch just holding that balance right now until economic sanctions are lifted, or are they starting after this month, or what happens to payments that are in limbo? Is Twitch just holding on to the money of Russian streamers? That's what I want to know.
They said that they are restricting payments being issued. So payments to financial institutions linked to your Twitch account have been blocked as a result of sanctions. To continue receiving payments, you'll need to specify a new payment method. Yeah, so they would have to specify a new payment method to get paid out to that's not a Russian bank.
Woof. Okay. That's not the easiest thing in the world for somebody who lives in Russia, but
yeah.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, this is the thing that has to happen in this horrific world that we live in right now. I wish those independent creators the best in getting their hands on their money that I'm sure they need very much right now.
I mean, I understand not running advertising. I understand pulling that stuff. It's just payments that people are owed feels different to me than some of these other economic sanctions that are going on. And I understand them, but it does feel different than starting this month, we're pulling Netflix, or Apple will no longer be selling things, or, you know, after this month, no more Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for you, because that stuff you pay for a month, the month happens, the next month they don't charge you, but you don't get anything. You don't have that option.
Yep.
Twitch can sometimes hold payments for a while. And so I'm wondering just like what happens to those balances for people that really need the money right now.
Yeah.
And Ventatsu brings up an interesting point. It's entirely possible Twitch can't transfer money to Russian bank accounts right now.
Yeah. What it says here is Twitch complies with the terms of economic sanctions imposed economic sanctions imposed the United States and other governments, and takes into account the sanctions imposed because of the situation in Ukraine. These sanctions may restrict or otherwise affect your access to payments and the ability to monetize your broadcast and or provide financial support to others.
They do say, we appreciate how frustrating and difficult this is. If you can't provide an alternative financial institution, we will do our best to pay you revenues you have earned as soon as we are permitted to do so.
So yeah, that probably is affected by the literal lack of access.
This one's tricky because we talk about these things affecting people on the ground. Mm-hmm. This one is, we know a lot of people, we are people that make a chunk of our income from streaming.
Yeah.
And, it's not a full-time job, but it helps a little bit with the bills. And
yeah,
it's a bummer that these sanctions have led to something that feels so directly connected to people.
It's also interesting, too, because you've seen, obviously, we saw a TikTok stopping people from posting in Russia. I saw a TikTok yesterday, and it was a compilation, much like John Oliver did with all of those like local news stations that were all owned by the same company, reading from the same script. Mm-hmm. There was something extremely comparable happening from just like independent content creators, all reading the same script in favor of Putin's war.
Woof.
And I mean word for word in Russian, which is very, very interesting. And people have not yet tracked down the actual source of what is going on there and how that is happening. Whether it's something that's just being, issued out to civilians and some people are just agreeing to do it.
Right. You can continue creating content as long as you post this.
We don't know the root of that, which is scary, honestly, because I saw dozens of them that were, again, word for word reading that script in the same way that like the Sinclair broadcast news was.
This is a country that is so fucking good at propaganda.
Very skilled in propaganda.
And so good at the internet in terms of spreading that propaganda especially compared to us. We're very bad at doing it and recognizing it.
We do it a lot.
We do it a lot, but like we're pretty bad at it compared to Russia. Like it's wild. This whole thing fucking sucks, man.
This whole thing does.
This whole thing fucking sucks. And like we said, we're not entirely up on it, and we are not super qualified to talk about it. We can only tell you what we think and feel in terms of the things that we do understand. And we, as always, tell you, go watch a real news from a real reporter and keep yourself updated.
And also, if you want to help in like your little way, right? In the same way that we talk about it in our little way, like our little way, like talking about Netflix, go and get that Shut.io bundle.
Go get that bundle, baby. Moving on to some more pleasant news.
Okay.
Dune.
a Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2 starring Florence Pugh.
They did. They've added Florence Pugh to the cast, which means it will be very good.
She's going to be Princess Irulan, which is very cool.
Florence Pugh makes everything better.
It's going to be very cool. Listen, that just means that Dune 2 is Little Women in Space. Little Women in Space.
I really want to see Saul Goodman walk in and say, "My Little Women in Space."
God, he was so good in that.
It was great.
He was so lovely.
It was just such a funny line when he walked in. "My Little Women." I was just like, he said the thing.
He said the thing.
There it is. My Little Women
in space. So that's fun.
Nightcrawler, I'm in the same boat. Now I have to watch Dune.
Dune is so good. I love Dune. In other news, a Walking Dead spinoff was just announced. A new Walking Dead television series. This one is Walking Dead Goes Manhattan. Negan goes to New York. The Walking Dead Isle of the Dead is coming.
Negan takes New York.
Negan takes Manhattan, baby. It's happening. A Walking Dead spinoff is in the works, starting set in New York City. It's got Negan and Maggie as they battle zombies in the Big Apple. It's going to be 6 episodes released on AMC and AMC Plus. Lauren Cohen and Jeffrey Dean Morgan are, of course, coming back. The series writer and co-executive producer Eli Journet is going to be the showrunner.
It's for 2023. Look, I'm very happy for Who is Chelsea. Chelsea, thrilled for her.
All of our friends who are big Walking Dead fans. I do like this New York with literally just a "Don't open dead inside." You know.
Yeah.
I still remember that first Walking Dead teaser poster.
Don't dead open inside.
Don't dead open inside. Please, don't dead open inside. Very exciting. So that adds to Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead: The World Beyond, and the anthology series which is coming called Tales of the Walking Dead.
Making it a 6th Walking Dead series. Somebody earlier in the chat said the real Walking Dead is this show and will never die.
It's the show. The show is The Walking Dead.
Don't you see it?
People love that Walking Dead.
I have watched, I think, 3 episodes of The Walking Dead ever. I had a perfectly good time. I'm just not the biggest zombie person.
I was in it for a while, for a few seasons, and then I just dropped off. I don't know, because I had read the comic.
Okay.
And it was following the comic pretty well. Like it had differences and stuff, but the comic is so masterful that I was just like, I don't know, man, they did it in the comic and the comic was so good. You know, and every time I would watch it, I'd be like, that was a great episode of TV. It was also a great issue of the comic. You know what I mean? It was one of those things.
I've enjoyed the episodes that I've seen. I've watched more than 3. I've watched the first few of the first season and then I fell off. And then I did a show around like an episode recap. So I watched a couple of episodes for that to like get kind of my bearings on where we were in the series. And I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. I dropped off it. Somebody said I dropped off at the same time I dropped off of the comics. And I'll say, I think you and I may have dropped off at the same point, which is there's a character that dies where everybody was like, well, fuck you for killing that guy. Like, I understand this is The Walking Dead and this happens and like no one is safe and that's the point, but fuck you for killing that guy. And I just stopped after that.
All right. That makes sense. In other television news, a God of War series is potentially in development at Amazon. Right now, it is just something they are trying out. They have acquired the rights to do, but we don't have any kind of timeline. We don't have much for people attached to it right now. It comes from the creators of The Expanse and the executive producers of Wheel of Time. Now, Wheel of Time got mixed reviews, but
people really do love The Expanse.
People love The Expanse.
Great series. It's really well done. So exciting to see something from them. I do think it's interesting that Sony, I don't know, I guess it isn't. Sony does this with their properties a lot, but it's really fascinating to me that Sony doesn't want to sort of... Why doesn't Sony want more control over their franchises or their own app or their own app or something? Is it just that PlayStation TV fell off so hard that they feel like they can't get back into it?
I just feel like maybe they should just pick a collaborative partner, because you look at The Last of Us, which is going to HBO, and I'm just like, hey guys, why aren't you establishing like a little bit of a universe with any individual streaming platform?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, especially HBO would be such an amazing partner for a God of War show.
Yeah.
You know, we have talked about, the thing that I'm the most worried about with Amazon is we've talked about that Amazon house style, that very digital style that they shoot in, where every show looks just like a little Ren fair.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like it looks almost real, but it also looks just like a little cosplay.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like even the Lord of the Rings, I'm watching it, and I'm like, there's something about the way they shoot it. Maybe it's like the super wide depth of field or something. There's something that makes their shows look a little less expensive than they are.
I can agree with that, absolutely. And I'm hoping that they'll, make those like kind of changes as they get into it, because there's so much stuff coming up. There's the Fallout series coming up. There's the Mass Effect series coming up. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to hone that in, because they've certainly got like a lot of room to travel right now.
Yeah.
They have a lot of test products to like really make these shows and like break into being a titan of like sci-fi television and like nerd media television.
I mean, that would be an amazing thing for Amazon to lean into. And I'd like to see this a little bit more with a lot of these streamers. You have to have an identity. And right now, these streaming apps are saying that their identity is their vast portfolio of IP or whatever. But I don't know, like it's the Paramount Plus problem.
Right.
Like they do have a lot of IP. Is it enough IP where like I want to join Paramount Plus because I'm a Star Trek fan? Not really, because there are 3 Star Trek shows and the rest of it is like MTV back catalog, Nickelodeon back catalog.
Right.
I think the only people that really, I mean, there are 2 people that are doing it really well. It's Disney and HBO.
Yeah.
Because they have the properties that sort of work with that. I would like to see more focused things like your Shutters. We're all horror all the time. If you want like everything, like the exhaustive...
That's going to be more streaming services. I don't want more streaming services.
That's fair.
More.
That's fair.
No more streaming services. Anthony, it is already 9:29, but I know we have to get to one more thing for you. Because there was Blue Beetle casting news.
Baby, I love the Blue Beetle. I love Booster Gold. I love it all. I love it all. So listen, Zolo Maraduena is the Blue Beetle, but they've also added some additional members to their cast, including Harvey Guillen, the very, very good boy from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yep.
I am excited. I am so excited. He is so good.
Very interesting.
I love this. I love this for a Blue Beetle movie. This is, of course, a movie based on the Jaime Reyes version of the Blue Beetle, meaning there's a place for Ted Kord still. If you need an aging Ted Kord, an aging smarmy Ted Kord who can't fight crime anymore, I have no screen credits and lots of demands. Give me a call.
We've also added Belissa Escobedo to the cast as Milagros Reyes. I don't know enough about the Blue Beetle to know if that's very exciting.
Yep. So she is coming on as who is she? Oh, she is Jaime's younger sister. And then Harvey is playing. Who's Harvey playing? He has not been disclosed yet. And then We have Bruna Marquezine as Penny. She is Jaime's love interest. It's a very cute story.
How cute.
I am so excited for the Blue Beetle. I'm so excited for the Blue Beetle.
What's the timeline like on the Blue Beetle? Do we know? They're still doing casting announcement. I can't imagine we have a date, but
we don't have any release date yet. They're still casting. We know that it's Charm City Kings director is going to be directing it, and that's about all we know. I'm very excited, though. I would bet that we see the Blue Beetle in 2024.
Yeah? You think it's that far out?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, interesting.
I would think that we see it in 2024. I think they're going to show off. Obviously, Supergirl is going to be in Flashpoint. Mm-hmm. I think they're building up this sort of younger generation of heroes. Mm-hmm. And I think Jaime will be part of that.
And this is for a movie, by the way. I don't know if we specified. This is a Blue Beetle movie. Mm-hmm. So when people are asking where it's going to be in theater, in theory, this should have a full theatrical release.
Yep. And of course, HBO Max.
And HBO Max, yeah.
So excited. There were some Booster Gold rumors too, and I'm just like, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Almost there. And that is all of the news that we have time for today, ending on, obviously, the biggest story to all of you, and not just Anthony. Everybody thinks it's very important.
Blue Beetle!
I am excited about it. It genuinely looks really good in the casting.
Blue Beetle!
Great. Very excited to see Guillermo in it. Everybody, we love you so much. Thank you, Pixel Pals, for joining us for the stream today. If it is your first time here, we do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at exactly 8 a.m. Pacific. And if it is not 8 a.m. Pacific when we start on your clock, you're wrong, not us.
Hey.
Yeah?
Thank you to everyone who supported us during the show today. We're going to run through our roll call of heroes in just a moment. Remember, all of your donations go directly to whoever you see on screen, and your subscriptions and your Patreon memberships go to the network as a whole to keep it running. We're going to run down those people in just a moment. But Saige,
yes?
Where are you when you're not here?
Excellent question. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So I will be live tonight at 6 p.m.-ish. You can also find me on Smosh Games channel, on the D&D channel, and on this channel right here for Failed Saves on Friday night. Failed Saves? I can't even speak. Failed Save. Fridays. I was Failed Save Fridays, and it became Failed Save. Failed Save on Fridays at 7 p.m. Pacific with Anthony.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which, where else could they find you?
Oh, my stars and garters, Saige. Thank you so much for asking. I can be found everywhere on the internet at a Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. I also have a science comedy podcast with Jeff Cannata called We Have Concerns. You can check that out at wehaveconcerns.com. It is literally an award-winning science comedy podcast.
True.
It is truly and honestly an award-winning science comedy podcast, and it's very, very good. I'm very proud of it. Please give it a listen. And you know who else we're very, very proud of? All of you for getting up early and watching the show.
Join the Discord if you haven't already. It's free, babies. You don't even have to be subscribed. Could you believe it?
Babies, that's free real estate. We also want to go through and thank everybody who directly supported us during the show today. We know a lot of you have given us money in the past, or you're Patreon members already, all of that stuff. We thank you as well, but we do want to give special thanks to the people who supported us during the show this morning, including the Benender, with this new sub, welcome. Not the Real Dan Lynch with a resub for 6 months, saying sub for torso-sized iPad for Saige. Thank you. That would be you have subscribed, which means that money would go towards a Pixel Circus iPad. It would be the size of the torso of Pixel Circus.
Whoa.
That's a lot of people. The One Moon Kid, bless you, with the gift tier 1 sub to Flatlander73. Thank you very much for your generosity. Getting Mo Done with the tier 1 sub for the John RT. Welcome and thank you. That One Moon Kid with the tier 1 sub to Tom Biden. Thank you very much. That Moon Kid tipped $15 saying tattoo money. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Writing an M with the cheer. Thank you very much. Chris Jean with the cheer saying, can't start my day till now. Doesn't matter that it's 10 a.m. my time. It's 8 a.m. Pixel time. That's right. Pixel Standard Time. That's what PST stands for if you ever see that in a time. Writing an M with the cheer. Thank you very much. Old Man Jan with the 5-month resub. Thank you so much. That's a good chunk of time. Kaylin Rohr gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you for your generosity. Emily Green 1994 with a 9-month resub. Yo, that's a good chunk of time. I think you might like us. Writing in with another cheer. Clobag with the prime resub for 10 months saying, wow, so many 8 a.m.s and so many pennies stolen from the Bezos pockets. Thank you for that. Tinkerbell225 with the resub for 13 months. That's a Pixel Circus year, baby. Thank you all for your generosity during the show today. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate you so much that we have to do Fosse in loose sleeves.
I gotta show off the sleeves.
You gotta do a Fosse in the loose sleeves. BBs, we'll be back on Friday. And remember, not only will we be hanging out with you for the regular showtime on Friday, but if you are a patron, we'll also do a little something extra for you on Friday. Wink. I don't know why I winked. That made it weird. It's not weird. It's just a clip, and it's very good. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you on Friday at exactly 8 a.m. We love you, BBs.